hold still, hold still.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, why am I love Sheldon. I'm like, it starts with a J, but it doesn't. Sheldon. Okay, let me know when we're all set.
Okay, we're ready.
All right, this is Sheldon's Roadmap to Success video. All right, good boy, relax. Good boy. And the Guardians wanted to talk about how to help out with his potty behavior and a couple of other things. So first, I just want to remind you to go to the video above this one on how to go through the structured walk exercise to help him stop pulling on the leash. And then practice that as often as you can. The more times you get him out for walks, the better, because it'll just help him start to relax. Remember that when you're going for walks, if he sees something he's reactive to just keep going and keep moving forward to keep his energy going in the future direction, going away from whatever he's barking at. As for potty behavior, as a little bit of a recap, there's quite a few things that we can do. The first thing is to remember that if he does have an accident in the house, to not have a negative reaction, because what he is experiencing is that him going potty is a bad thing, and if we're upset for him going potty, and we're irrational, so he should start hiding it. So that's going to make him not wanting to go potty in front of you outdoors. So try not to have too much of a reaction if he does have an accident in the home. But we want to use a lot of positive reinforcement for getting him to go potty outside. Remember, when he starts to go, say the word potty, nice and calm, don't move, stay still, have a treat on you. When he's done, say potty and give him the treat at the same time. If you want to afterwards kind of praise him and say, what a good boy, and all that stuff, go ahead, but make sure you're saying potty in a nice, even, calm voice. So that's the most important part. The other parts are thinking about, like, okay, getting a schedule going, so that way he's nice and calm and he's consistent. He knows when he can go out to go potty. That'll be important. And then if he does have accidents, remember to write down what time it is or what's going on around that time. So a lot of times dogs have to go out after they wake up, around playtime, and around eating time. So those are all pretty common time periods when dogs have to go out anyway. So he could be having accidents like around 2 o'clock every day, or it might be attached to some other thing that he's already doing, like maybe every time he stops playing, he always has to go out. So that will be a cue to you to make sure you're taking him out to go potty. So having a little diary of when he does have accidents can help you change that pattern and go ahead and be more proactive and fix that. You can also set a reminder in your phone to, like, oh, around this time he has to go out. It's just to help you. Other things are, when you are going to take him out, to make it a positive experience, keep him in that smaller restricted area in the kitchen at first, so that way when you go to take him out, it's really exciting. It's more fun than just hanging out in the kitchen, and he's more likely to come over to you. If he is kind of shying away and trying to turn it into a game, ignore him. So that way he's starting to desire you to come over and get him, and you're not playing a game of chase around the house or chasing around the kitchen. So you don't want to indulge him in that, so try to give yourself enough leeway, time period, that you're not in a rush, so that way you can focus on making sure that he's coming over to you and it's all a positive experience, and he's actually more choosing to go out because you're calling him over and he's coming over to you, versus turning this into a game where he's captured and then brought outside. So that'll help him, and it'll turn into a more positive experience. Also, have a space in your yard that's pretty dedicated to where he should go, and then make that a time period where he goes out to go potty before walks, so the walk isn't the time to go potty. So that way you can work on getting him to walk nice loose leash. You're not having to stop so he doesn't mark all the way along the walk, and it's a much more pleasant experience for everyone involved. If you were to take him out and he doesn't go potty, give him about a half an hour to an hour and put him in an area that he's restricted, so he can't just take off and go and have an accident somewhere else in the house, so you can be proactive, and then bring him back out again. That can just be in the kitchen in a smaller area. If he does have an accident there, you can go smaller and put him in his kennel for a short time period, or keep him on a leash and holding onto it in the house, so that way he's just not able to go off and take and have an accident if you can help it. The more times he doesn't have an accident, the more he's building up the good habit of going where you want and not inside. Remember, the more times a dog does something, the better they get at it. So the more times he has the freedom to take off and go into another room, hide, and have an accident, the better he'll get at sneaking off. So try to prevent that by restricting his freedom if he hasn't gone potty for you when you take him out. So those are all the ways to help him out with that. If you want to integrate the bells situation, remember to muffle the bells with your hands when he's going potty, so it's really quiet, almost inaudible at the first time, so that way it doesn't scare him, and then slowly make it a little bit louder and then eventually you can put it over by the door, not on the doorknob, but by the door, and start to ring it before going out. So it starts making that association. Take that nice and slow. I would wait to start the bells until he's going potty outside consistently, so you feel really good about that being a good habit that he's developed, and then you can start giving him more of that bringing in the bell and having him start to alert you when he has to go out. Let's see, make sure we're going through the leadership exercise each day, especially if you can get all the family members to be doing it once a day for the next 30 days, that'll be ideal. That's, remember, kind of like saying, I love you to the dog. This is teaching him that he doesn't have to hold on to all the responsibility in the home, and it allows him to relax like this. It's a great way to set the stage for having the dynamic shift in the home be towards you guys as a family members being the leaders. It's gonna help him come over when called, and just look to you for more direction. After that, let's do the leadership exercise a couple times a week for the next month, and then you can start to wean off and doing it about once a month as just maintenance. I still do that with my dogs after years. It's just a great way to keep that good dynamic in the home. And another fun game to play with the kids is to start calling his name, grab a couple of treats each, and then go in different parts of the home and calling him over. So he gets a lot of practice and repetition of hearing his name and having it be all positive, so he comes running over to you, and that can build up his recall, and it's also kind of fun. You can even start playing hiding on him. You can hide behind the couch, and he can start turning this into almost a hide and seek game, and then he gets a yummy treat reward. So it can actually become a good way, especially in the winter, to get some exercise for him too. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then remember to use escalating consequences to establish invisible boundaries in the home. You can do that by the front door or anywhere else in the home. And then lastly, I want to remind you that everything you do trains your dog, only sometimes you mean it.